Hey Niners, today is the last part of our Mastering the Pickoff Move series. This is part 3, Advanced Tips. So we've already gone over the main 3 basic keys as in quick feet, accurate throw, and staying calm. So now we're going to mix in some other keys. So one thing we want to do is we want to make sure we're mixing up our timing. We want to make sure we're actually watching the runner really closely. We want to make sure we don't show our best move as our first move, and we want to make sure we have really good chemistry with our infielders. So when we mix up timing, we really want to make sure we're keeping the runners and batters off guard. We don't want them to know after one look we're making our move, or we make our move after 3 seconds, or anything like that. We want to make sure we're mixing it up to keep them off guard. Sometimes we want to pick off before we even get set. While you're leaning in to get your signs, if you're looking over to the runner and you see him that far off, you can pick off from there and do your quick move, right? You don't have to wait till you get set every single time. That's one way to keep him off guard and mix up your timing. Another way to do it is maybe you take your signs and then you get set. You don't even look at the runner. Maybe he doesn't even think you're paying attention to him, and then you pick off. You just have to make sure your fielder is ready. That's also another way you can mix up your timing. Also, another thing you could do is mix up how many times you look or how long you set your hold position for, right? You can maybe look 3 or 4 times one time, and then the next pitch you look once, and then the next time you look 4 times, right? You want to make sure you're mixing up how many times you look. You can also just get set in the pitching position and be set for 10-15 seconds as long as you don't balk, right? That'll make the batter uncomfortable. That might make the runner uncomfortable, right? We want to make sure if we're going to be mixing up that time and we keep them off guard, we keep them uncomfortable. The second thing you want to do is you want to watch the runner. This can be a very overlooked part of the pickoff move because if you're not looking at the runner, you don't really know what they're doing. If you're watching the runner closely, it really helps with finding a good time to make the pickoff move. There's a couple different times that you can incorporate that are good times for a pickoff move, right? If the runner's looking away from you, they're not ready to jump back to the bag. That's one good time to pick off. If the runner ends up crossing his legs as he's getting off the base, he's not able to jump back right away. So that's also another good time to pick off. If you're not watching the runner closely as they lead off, you're not giving yourself the best opportunity to get those pickoff moves every single time. The next thing to keep in mind is you don't want to show your best move first. You want to kind of be strategic when you pick off. It doesn't have to be only when you think you can get the runner. It can be you want to keep the runners kind of honest until a bigger part of the game when you want to make the pickoff move. Something I did when I was a pitcher was I might make my first pickoff move or 2 or 3 really slow moves so they didn't know I had a really good pickoff move. This gave the runner some confidence as they got leads. They might have got even a bigger lead, and then when they get a bigger lead, they feel confident in their lead. Then that gives you that time to make that quick move and to try to get the out. Also, once you pick off a runner, some teams will be kind of shy with their leads because they know you have a good pickoff. So you want to make sure you're not picking off at a random time during the game. You want to make sure it's an out that you need to get, and it's a situation where you're not throwing to a runner on first if you have a runner on third, stuff like that. You want to make sure you pick the right situation to unleash your quick move as well. The last tip I'm going to give you guys today is you want to develop chemistry with your infielders, right? You want to make sure, especially with the pickoffs at second base, which are very timing based, you want to make sure you guys are on the same page. Those pickoff moves at second base really rely on timing, so you want to practice a ton with your main shortstop, with your main second baseman, so that when a pickoff move is called, that both of you are on the same page, that the pickoff can be executed perfectly every single time. Also, this also applies with the first baseman as well, right? If a first baseman's not used to how hard you throw on a pickoff move or stuff like that, or what your move looks like, they might not be prepared for it. They might drop it. They might let it get by them, right? You want to make sure you guys are on the same page as well to eliminate all the errors to maximize your chance for outs. Thanks for watching, guys. In the description below, we have links some videos of some pros talking about their tips as well. But we really hope you guys got a lot out of this and that you can apply this in future games.